Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Chachach, double honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say Tawada to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here, sincerely keeping the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Messiah to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan the Waf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And really just a ride and talk. I'm driving right now, so kind of be roughly paraphrasing scriptures. And I want to watch this brother's GMS Kabar Awar video from yesterday. The bad business of Babylon. But when I'm riding through this park that I kind of ride through every day because I'm at the plantation. So, but it's like one of those metro parks, that it's a system of parks throughout the state, and it's always a bunch of damn Edomites. They get to enjoy it the most. But I pretty much, I like to drive through it because I get to see the animals. You get to see different, just little, different things, gophers, deer, swan, just all kinds of shit that just be running through the park. You get a glimpse of here and there. So as I'm, riding yesterday, I'm headed back to the plantation or, our little plant park, and I see this guy fucked all up off to the side of the road, because Esau, they ride these bikes, that's like a big thing to these Edomites. They're really big into these bikes, bicycles, very expensive bicycles at that. Some of these bicycles, Jake just trying to get a hoopty, you know what I'm saying? And Esau go out and spend $3, $4, $5, damn near $10,000 on a fucking bike. You'll see him with the helmet. The damn helmet got the lights on it with a fucking rear view mirror. They had the pants with the ass patch. The shoes. They put a lot into that. So I see this guy, which appears to be an Edomite, but it hit me. I'm like, well, shit, maybe he might be an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a skin color thing. So I stopped. I had to turn the truck around because I seen he was just kind of like ditched off in the woods. Like off some brush of trees. And it kind of caught me off guard when I passed by. I'm like, oh shit, there's somebody down on the ground. So I turned the truck around, go back, do a UE up on him, and he's fucked all up, man. Fucked up. He's basically saying that he thinks his shoulder is broken, his collarbone is broken and shit. I know I'm looking at his arm, which is bloody as hell with big ass gashes in it, because he took a nice tumble. And that's Esau's system, you know what I'm saying, where his kingdom is taking that tumble, man. And he was fucked up. This guy was in serious pain. So, me being the Samaritan, oh shit, don't come out. Yeah, I'm damn gopher right there and shit. I be hating to hit the animals, man, because people don't give a shit. But anyway, yeah, man, he was on that bike, and he Esau kind of goofy anyway. That's why I was thinking it was an Edomite. Because he showed me what he had ran over. He ran over a big ass fucking stick, like a nice little size tree limb. And I'm like, well, damn, you ain't see that shit? So when he hit it, those bikes, it's not like mountain bike type tires. These expensive bikes that they ride, they have those little thin, those razor thin ass tires, which are, because Esau, like I said, he's into that shit. He's into speed, velocity. He studies every damn thing. So don't get me wrong, the motherfucker can make a good ass bike. But this guy, he obviously wasn't looking up, which a lot of them don't, because I see him, I had to kind of like dodge on my damn self, you know what I'm saying? Because they feel as if the road is theirs, which it really is, because you don't want to hit one of these motherfuckers. And people was kind of looking at me like, damn, did he hit that guy? Like, no, I was just stopped to try to see was his ass all right. But, I was like, well, shit, man, I can call, 911. Generally, the sheriff, they roll through here anyway, but, I'm like, well, shit, I can call you some help. He was so fucked up, he couldn't even get his phone out of his pocket. And, so I ended up, getting his phone for him. And he got his daughter on the line, you know what I'm saying? He's like, no, my daughter's a doctor. She's on her way, whatever. And, so another, it would look like a Moabite. He was riding a damn bike. He had on the same gear too, these, these people, they come here and they drink that wine of Babylon, and they get into the customs of Esau's world. And he was dressed just like him, but I know he was like a Moabite. You know, he had on the biker shorts and shit with the ass pads. You know, just looking crazy as hell, man. Them fucking shoes, the fucking helmet. You know, just really into it. You know, like look like they on one of those, you know, one of those marathon teams. That whole suit. You know, so he stops. He's like, "Oh shit, man, dude, what happened? You know, whatever." And you know, the guy's explaining. He pointing at the big ass tree limb. I'm thinking like, man, how the fuck you didn't see that shit? You know, so that kind of made me think he's a fucking Edomite. And then once he told me his daughter was a doctor, I'm like, yeah, this guy's more likely an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he kind of had that goofiness about him. You know, because the scripture talks about how two nations are in thy womb. Two manner of people. One nation will be stronger than the other. And that's Jake, man. Jake is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The Israelites are stronger than Esau. Esau goofy, man, you know? And then he looked like he might have been 70 or so, you know, but they still be out here trying to do it. You know how Esau gets down. You know, I can't say one thing about the motherfucker. He will try to keep himself in shape, you know, type of deal. You know, but yeah, he was fucked up though. He kept, I think I gotta go to the ER. I'm like, hey man, what shit? So as his daughter finally pulls up, and boy, when I tell you, yeah, she looked like a doctor, all right. I that's when it dawned on me, yeah, these are Edomites. But boy, that snow bunny was beautiful. That motherfucker was sexy and fine, and but you know, she ends up jumping out. She's like, you know, Dad, you know, that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up stuffing this guy's bike into her $100,000 vehicle, because I know that truck is at least, you know, a little over $100,000, the one that she had, because I was talking to somebody about that's one of my favorite vehicles that I like. I ain't gonna say which one it was, but anyway, yeah. So we, you know, got his bicycle into the back, and they got his ass off into the vehicle, and they you know, swerved away. You know, and in the hospital I know they was talking about going to was in shit. That shit is like, I don't know how many cities away, but you know, that kind of made me think like, yeah, these are Edomites. They're going to pass by all these other hospitals. They're going to the best hospital, probably the one where she worked at. You know, like, no, we're going to my hospital where, you know, I know these specialists, because he was fucked up. He's fucked up. I know that boy probably woke up sore as a motherfucker this morning. But you know, I was just passing through there and I seen that big ass tree limb sitting there. And then, you know, it kind of hit me like, you know, let me just do something, because Esau's falling, man. And that's kind of like, you know, what I thought of, you know, because I'm sitting there. It was kind of, I know it may be fucked up, but as you know, he's sitting there on the ground. You know, the scripture talks about come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. So as he's sitting there on the ground, I'm just looking down at him like, you know, just all kinds of thoughts going through my mind like, you doofy motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? And like, good for your ass if you are an Edomite, you know, because Esau, man, they get the best of the land, man. You know what I'm saying? Like these parks and stuff like that, they be living it up, man. You be seeing them out in the park, be doing all kinds of shit. Motherfuckers throwing frisbee to dogs and shit. They got a whole dog park. You know, they walking through there, you know, picking up, you know, and it's kind of crazy because you picking up dog shit and behind the dog, and then they'll stuff the bag into their pocket and keep on walking. Like, you do realize you just stuffed a bag of shit in your pocket and be walking along like it's nothing. Like, that's nothing to them. Like, no, we're not picking up dog shit, bro. And we definitely not putting it in our pocket. You know, just a big ass bag of it. But anyway, that's just how they get down, man. They you know, they be fucking kayaking and canoeing and shit, and you know, just enjoying the earth, because they were given the fatness of the earth, man. They're the ones that I see Eve, you know what I'm saying? Eve, she'll be out there walking, you know what I'm saying? She'll take her little walks, but they be having like little exercise stations and stuff like that here and there throughout the park. So I see some Eves here and there, you know what I'm saying, walking. But other than that, man, it's just all Esau and Ishmael. You know, they little women be walking through there. You know, they had their heads covered, but they had them leggings on with them fat asses showing. But you know, they're the ones that's enjoying, you know, really just get to enjoy the land. I always just drive through there. I've never even stopped, pulled up, and just sat there. I went in there one time like that, but you know, I was at the plantation anyway at that particular time, so I couldn't like stick around. But anyway, hey, again, you know what I'm saying? This is Esau's world and it's falling. And that guy, he kind of made me, you know, it kind of dawned on me, like it just hit me, like, yep, this motherfucker, this is the fall of the Edomite, you know? Because he was on the ground in agony, boy. I was like, God, and I'm looking at him like, yeah, I know that shit hurt. I know your ass in pain. Because I'm looking at the wounds of his, you know, his forearm and his elbow. That shit is all exposed. You know, but his shoulder, you know, he was fucked, bro. Because from the length of where the actual tree limb was to where he ended up at, yeah, he nosedived. You know, he went, and you know, Esau be riding those goddamn bicycles, man, at about 30, 40 miles an hour. So if he came to an abrupt stop, you know that shit, it's almost like him running into the side of a car or something. You know, and his ass just out there, just, you know, a great American hero flying and shit. If you've ever seen that old ass, used to be a TV show that used to come on back in the days called The Greatest American Hero. And he was like a you know, curly head, blonde haired Edomite that played the part. But he was supposedly, you know, got some superpowers from space. And there was a manual that came with it. And he couldn't find the manual, so he was just a stupid ass superhero, you know, flying and wobbling and shit. You know, it was just, you know, he had the powers, but it was just stupid, you know. But that's the kind of remind me of this guy. But anyway, man, I know he had to nosedive because he was far as shit from the you know, the limb that he hit, and the bike was all fucked up. The damn Moabite trying to fix his bike. I'm like, ain't no use of you trying to fix that dude's bike. That might have been his last day biking. You know, but he he ended up getting enough power to get his ass into his daughter's truck, and she was like, thank you. I'm like, yeah, that bitch was sexy little motherfucker, pretty ass snow bunny. But but yeah, she was like, yeah, he was probably not paying attention in podcasting, listening to a podcast or some shit she was saying. So I was just like, okay, well shit, you know. She was like, thank you for helping. Yeah, all right. I just jumped into my vehicle, man, and got the fuck on. But it just made me kind of snicker and laugh, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, this is the fall of this man's kingdom, man. He has the best of this world, but it's caving on him, man. It's a done deal. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. It's falling for him, especially with all this Trump shit going on. This guy is done lost his damn mind for real. He's talking about more tariffs. He's trying to get Russia a damn 50-day ultimatum. Yeah, if you don't stop this war within 50 days. Well, motherfucker, 6 months ago, you said you was going to stop this shit on day one. And they've been talking, you know, they was kind of talking about how, you know, Russia's laughing at this nigga. Like, man, we don't give a fuck about your tariffs. Because they've been getting along just fine with you having tariffs on them anyway. But see, what Trump is doing is, on that end, he knows that he can't affect Russia. So he wants to fuck with the countries that fuck with Russia. So he's trying to force, I guess, these other countries to tell Russia, well, you know, hey, you got to cut it out, man, or we can't import or export with you. But these BRICS nations that's the reason why they created BRICS, to get around your doofy ass, weaponizing the dollar. So they kind of giggled and laughed his ass off, but we'll see what happens. He's talking about 50 days, or he's gonna put 100% tariffs and some other kind of tariffs and a bunch of other. Then you putting tariffs on your own country. I mean, your allies' country. He's still talking all that tariff shit, but it's not gonna work out, man. And people, you know, these allies of America are really sick and tired of this motherfucker. They sick of his ass. And then you got the megas. You know, and then you sending Patriot missiles to fucking Ukraine. How you expecting this man to cease fire or stop the war within the 50 days and you sending weaponry over there to Ukraine when you said you wouldn't? So everything that he said he wouldn't do during his campaign, he's actually doing, and these megas are pissed. They're like, man, fuck Ukraine. Let me see them Epstein files. That's what they really pissed about. And then he's going on all these rants talking about, well, I don't know why people are so obsessed with seeing them, because we want to know the billionaires that were possibly SAing, sexually assaulting children. That's why it's so important that that's why we want to see it, goddammit. He's trying to blow it off as if it's nothing. Oh, well, the guy died a long time ago. That bullshit, man. Get the fuck out of here. You campaigned on bringing out those files, and now here you go, you're reneging on that shit. Pam Bundy, or whatever the hell her name is, said that she had a treasure trove of files. Treasure trove of files. This is what she said. She said she had files up to the wahoo, man. Now all of a sudden there is no files. There's no list. The list is sitting on my desk, you know. So these people are some damn liars, man, and they're these megas. They starting to see like, okay, well now we gotta take things into our own hands. We you know, this guy done let us down. We gave the democratic process a go, and now hey, we seeing that shit has failed, and we gotta just go ahead and do our own thing now. And that's pretty much about where it's at right now, man, with these Edomites, man. They ready to civil war this shit out. And they gonna be pew-pewing at each other. The Egyptian against the Egyptian. So, but yeah, you know, I just wanted to just do a quick little lesson while I was driving here about at my destination. So, hey, I pray that this lesson was edifying. Hey, continue on praying for the downfall of Esau's kingdom, because that's what's happening. These prayers that we're putting up, man, they're not going unanswered, man. The Lord is hearing our prayers. And he's taking Esau, taking his ass down, man, which is a beautiful thing. So as his kingdom falls, guess what? Our kingdom rises, and we're almost out of here, man. So I'm going to end out with that. I'm saying, call hello, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors again to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And with that, Shalom.